Hey, my name is Gaia Athena and today I've got a bit of a different video for you. Today I'm going to give you my August summary. August was actually a bit of a strange reading month because in the first 2 weeks I read a lot of books, mostly library loans that were due. Then I took a week's break from reading, and after that, in about the last 2 weeks of August, I read 2 books. As you can see in the graph, I read 23 books in August. This is roughly around the average books that I've read in the months of the year so far. In August I read 5,197 pages. This is roughly average if you look at the graph versus the other months that we've had this year so far. As you can see in this pie chart, the amount of books I read in August is indeed somewhat comparable to the other months. It's maybe on the slightly lower side of the spectrum, which is probably because in the second half of August I just didn't really read a lot. And also when I compare the amount of pages I read this month to the other months, it is also slightly on the lower side of the spectrum. In this graph I've plotted the age ranges versus the month. The blue column is infants, and by this I mean things like picture books. Red is children's books, so what you'd consider for like ages 4 to about 12, so that's a rather broad spectrum. Green is young adult, and that I would consider 12 to 18, and purple is adult. As you can see, in August I read mostly children's books, young adult books and adult books, and well, I don't read that many picture books. In this graph I've plotted the amount of rereads versus new reads. Blue is rereads and red is new reads. I reread quite a few books in February, but not so much in the other months, including August. I'm only rereading a couple of books per month recently. So in August I read 6 fantasy books, 2 science fiction books, 5 contemporary fiction books, no rom-com, no historical fiction, no literature, 3 detectives, 3 thrillers, no horror and no paranormal, 6 biographies, 2 information books, and no Disney. Disney is kind of a leftover category that I made when I read a bunch of Donald Duck pockets. Please note that some books have multiple genres. Most books I assign just one genre, but in maybe sometimes a book just has multiple genres. In this graph you can see how the genres of August compare to the genres I read in earlier months of the year. The amount of books read in August is maybe not as much as in some of the other months, but the genres are a bit more evenly divided in some of the other months. For example, in July I read a lot of contemporary fiction, as well as in June, May and April, that you can see by the big green line. But in August the genres are a bit more mixed, so that's kind of nice. The shortest books read this month were Ik wil lekker vies by Tony Ross, 20 pages, Wilde Haren by Elsje Bakker, 42 pages, and Alles uit de kast by Marjolein Hoend and Jan-Paul Schutte, 56 pages. The longest books I read this month were With the Light, Volume 6 by Keiko Tobe, 520 pages, and We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson, 455 pages. My favorite books of the month were Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, Wet Wabbit by Lissa Evans, and Iris Grace by Arabella Carter Johnson. My least favorite books this month was Ik wil lekker vies by Tony Ross. This was actually not really I didn't hate it or anything. It was just, for me as an adult, I didn't really get much out of it, but I didn't mind reading it. And the second one is Vie, het geheim van het Poollicht by Petra Jongeneel. Again, I didn't mind reading this. It was definitely an alright read, but gladly this month I didn't have any reads that I really hated. So the least favorites of the month are the least favorites, but they were definitely not bad reads or anything. That brings me to the end of my August summary. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!